Hello everyone, welcome to a new track guide. Today we are gonna take a look at Suzuka. It is a very difficult circuit. Also for the tires it's pretty hard. Yeah, it's very technical. As far as setup wise, you have to run really high downforce. I run 10 wing, and you have to have medium suspension, especially for sector 2. So yeah, let's go into a lap. As per usual, firstly the onboard, where you can see a bit. So this is our hot lap. So we go wide to gain extra speed advantage into our lap. Going down into turn 1, you have on the left side a road, that's where I usually brake. Go down 2 gears, another 2 gears, really early on throttle. Use all the exit curb. Don't go on the grass, on the green here. Don't go on the green here because the car will slide. Avoid the green on the inside here. Back to second for the engine brake. Immediately back to the third. Then try and open up this corner as much as possible. Use all the exit again. Now coming into here, it's a double right-hander. Brake 1. There you go. And then another one. Full throttle again. Now we go down in the TC to TC1 for the hairpin. You have to get this right. Make sure you are straight with your steering on exit, otherwise the car will spin a bit. This is full throttle. Now coming into spoon. On the right hand side you have a little road. That's why I usually brake. Go down 2 gears. Again, engine brake. It's all on the left. Really late apex here. Early on the power. Use all the exit curve. Now coming into the famous 130R. What you want to do is go drop a gear, half throttle and then full throttle again. Don't brake. It's not needed. Coming into here, just before the 100 board, you brake. Use all the curb on the right hand side. Use all the curb on the left hand side. Take the exit. Stay tight to the pit lane. So, and that's a lap around Suzuka. It went a bit fast, so let's slow down a bit and go to the third camera view here. So here we are in the third person view. You can see a lot better lines I take, my track usage as well, and we go a little bit slower over the lap so you can learn all the ins and outs about this track. So yeah, as I said previously, we're going wide here because it's a preparation for the hot lap. This is so we can have extra speed on the straight with a few kph. You can gain half a tenth by it. Okay, coming into here, you can see on the left hand side there is a road, and where you want to brake is just after that. And what you want to do, we are here in 6th gear, and you want to go back to 4th, so double downshift, go back to 3rd a little bit later. This is a really important bit. It's not one corner, it are 2 corners. So here we go, we brake just after here. You can see my brake lights aren't on. Any moment they go on. There you go. And where you want to be is on the right hand side. You can take the curb on the inside. It will be actually faster because the distance to the corner will be shorter. So, there we go. 2 gears down. Go a little bit on throttle here. And this is what I mean with a double corner and not one corner. It is go a little bit on power again, and then immediately hit the brakes again, go back into 3rd or 2nd gear. I would suggest 3rd gear, at least in a Lamborghini, because of the 2nd gear is just too short and you lose time at the end of the day. I use TC4 into here. The reason why is I want to plant the throttle on the exit pretty heavily. So you can see it here. you have this moment where you can't go on the brakes because the car will spin. If you go on throttle, you will have understeer. So this is really hard for our races to do, but you want to have no inputs basically, and let the car just roll. Once you feel it, go on the power. Also, you can use a bit of the curb on the inside. It looks like I'm gonna take it. However, you slide it a bit away, power sliding away, which doesn't cost time. You actually gain something from it. And then you go like 70, 80% throttle, and then go 100%. There you go. And then on the exit, you want to use all of the green. So I don't use it quite well here. You can use a bit more. You can even use the outside. There isn't any track limit here. So coming into here, open up the corner big time. You want to go as close to the grass as possible. You want to be on the white line for the next one. This is a really crucial corner because if you get this one right, there is a fair bit of chance that the rest of the sector will be fine as well. If you're offline here, I can guarantee you the next corner will be a little bit off, the next corner a little bit, and you just keep losing time throughout sector 1 completely. Coming into here, what you want to do is be on this curve. Don't be on the green, because the green will make the car slide. You can't use the grass either. What you want to pay attention to is that at the beginning of the curve, if you hit it with your car, there's a slight bump for your car. So the car will go up in the air, you can't steer, and it will go straight on into the fence. So watch out for that. Coming into here, brake, and this is a really crucial thing for trail braking, as well as being patient really on power. So you can see I brake. You can see here I have, what is it, 10 or 20% throttle? Not a lot. So you have to be patient. If you go too early on the power, the car will understeer. Where you want to be here is at the curb. Don't be on the green for the same reason as before. You will just slide away, and that's not what you want. Don't use all of the exit on the left hand side because you need to be kind of in the middle for the next corner. If you are on the left hand side using the curb maybe, you're using too much, because for the next corner you're then too tight on the corner because it's a left hander and you're already on the left. So stay a little bit tight here and stay a little bit in the middle. I would suggest like 1 meter or 2 meters to the left would be amazing. You can already see in about 20 meters, you can see a black mark on the road. That's where I usually brake from third to third. Just stay in gear, you'll be fine. You see it here, braking here. I just crossed the black painting on the road, and you want to be on the curb on the left hand side. You don't want to be on the green because you will spin out, or you will lose time. The car just, yeah, it understeers and then it oversteers. It's really hard. So just be on the curb, that will be fine. There you can see it. I go back to second gear here. I do it at the black tire marks on the ground. They are just there once you load the game in. I have my settings on medium and I can see them, so you'll be fine as well. I go back to second for the engine brake and then go immediately back to third. The reason why I do that is obviously one of them is the engine brake that you get. In second gear you get more engine brake than in third gear, and the second one is you get more rotation because of that, because the car, the weight of the balance goes to the front, so the rear gets a little bit loose. You can control that. I personally do it because I like it. I also see a lot of people staying in third gear. It's just what you prefer, really. Here a brake, second, you can hear it. Third, you don't want to be completely on the curb. It's a really late apex. It's the same as the corner before. You want to be in the middle at the exit because you have the left hander and you want to use a maximum track usage on the right hand side. So you want to be in the middle at the exit here. There you can see it. Use as much road as possible. I think this is the maximum. Don't go onto the grass. It's really hard. You have to practice a lot of laps before you get it right. You have to know the car a lot. But once you're on the white line and you go to the left, there's no feeling like that. So what I do is I only lift. I don't brake. I go to the left, and once I feel confident, I go on throttle. And here you can see it. Lift, throttle. You don't want to be on the left hand side on the curb. Two reasons: you will oversteer or you will understeer. The car will just be unbalanced. That's it, really. Then on the exit you want to use absolutely everything. But be aware, you have a curb with the green outside, then you have a road, and then you have the grass. You want to be back on the track once you go on the road. That's what I do here as well. So use all the green. You can use a bit more, it wasn't perfect. Here you can see the road. You go now a little bit more horizontal with the track, so the car gets more understeering. So you want to be really back at the track at this point. That's what we do. This is flat. I hired TC5 for this section. It's a double right-hander. It's very technical, and you have to basically send it. You have to have a lot of confidence in the car as well. So you can see it. I brake just before the 50 board. You can see the tire marks again on the ground where I brake. I go back from 5th to 4th gear, and then I go with one wheel and sometimes two wheels on the green on the right hand side. With two wheels you get a track invalidation. With one wheel you should be fine. Your left side of the car should be on the curb for the right hand side. Again, try and use as much track as possible on the left hand side on entry to open up the corner as much as possible so you can carry more speed through it. So here you can see it, and with one side of the car on the curb and with one side on the car even on the grass. But the car is pretty stable in these conditions, so I would advise it. Definitely don't use more. There's a little bit of banking on the inside of the road as well, and if you're there, the car gets the most turning of what you can have in this corner, really. Here, use all the exit. You can use all the curb as well. Be aware of track limits. It's really tight on track limits. I've got a few on this. So yeah, be aware of it. Then into the next corner, you want to brake a little bit before the curb ends. You want to go back a gear and then go up a gear, short shifting. And you don't want to be on the green on the inside. As you can see here, I use only the curb, I don't go on the green. And on the exit you want to use absolutely everything. The reason why I don't use the green is, again, you get oversteer. And as well as the previous corner, there's a little bit of a banking inside. And if you're there, the car just rotates a lot more than usual. It's because of the camber. Excuse me. So here we go. Use all of the track on the outside. Now, here's an important part. I would say that if you're driving this track, make sure to map a button to TC1 or TC2. The reason for that is now we go into TC1, into the hairpin, and you obviously want to use TC1 or 2, otherwise you don't get any fast away from the hairpin and you lose a couple of tenths, and that's not needed. So the magic with the hairpin is to trail brake a lot. Unlike Spa, La Source, where you don't have to trail brake, you want to trail brake here. Really light where you brake at the end of the curb, you can see it here. Again, open as much track as possible, which is quite hard considering the grass, but that's Suzuka. So here we go. Go into the inside. You don't want to be on the curb because you will slide away. And again, on this corner there is a lot of camber to the white line. You should see it as a V form, a V figure. So on the left hand side it goes up, on the right hand side it goes up, and in the middle there's like a downhill camber section, and the car plants beautiful through there. As I said in the onboard lap, on exit you want to make sure your steering wheel is straight, otherwise the car will kind of slide, snaps as we call them. It only happens on TC2, only on TC1 and 2. On the rest of the TC it doesn't, but on the higher TCs the car will not have any power going out of here. I go back to TC5 for a spoon. This is all flat. Go to the middle here. Don't go to the outside as the tire mark suggests. This just shortens the distance to the next corner. Coming into here, you have the road on the right hand side. After that, I brake. You can say where the road ends, where the green begins. That's why I brake. I go back 2 gears. So from 5th to 3rd. Stay in 5th. 6th, you won't have any power and you will just lose time. Really hard corner. Go on the brakes, go on the throttle again. Use all the curb on the inside here, and then go a little bit of throttle, then full throttle. Full throttle is a bit hard considering the understeer. Try not to get on the green. You can go a little bit on the curb, but the car tends to understeer. So I wouldn't advise that. Coming into here, what you want to do is brake, go down a gear, and wait again for the power. And then once you feel confident, go on the power. The trick with spoon is that it is a really late apex. So here you can see it, not on any power, here on power. So you can see where the tire marks are. That's usually where I go on power. I've obviously done a lot of laps around here, so I kind of know where to go on power now. You want to use the inside curb. It helps a lot. It doesn't slow you down in any way, shape or form. So here we go, full throttle. Use all of the exit curb so you don't get graining on the tires and you're not steering on full power. Then I go back to traction control setting 2. The reason why I do that is because in the chicane I'm not confident using TC1. That's why I use TC2. I think it's a little bit quicker as well. But first, we are going to 130R. What you want to do is at the 50 board, lift a bit and then go on power. You don't want to lift completely because the car will unsettle and you will get a lot of oversteer. You don't want to brake either because of the same reason. You want to slight lift and then go back to full power. Slight lift, full power. Use all of the track here. The track limit is the white line. It's really easy to get a track limit here, so watch out for that. Going into here, you want to brake just before the 100 board on the left hand side. You want to go back to 2nd gear, and what you want to do is use the curb on the right and left side completely and go on power. This will help dramatically getting lap times improved. A lot of people make mistakes here. Again, go on the outside on the white line to get as much opening up of the corner. You can see I'm already turning towards the apex. This is because I really want to get everything out of it. The track limit is, I think, the green on the inside of the curb. You can ride that with the left hand side of your car. The right hand side can be on the grass. So yeah, make sure to use everything here. And short shift into second, use everything here as well. The track limit here is, however, the curb on the inside, not the green, so be aware of that. What we want to do is to let the car roll to the outside, whilst on power, just understeer to the outside, go as soon as possible back to the right hand side, and you'll be fine. So here we go, we are completely on the curb. This is the maximum I would advise to anyone. If you do more, you have trouble going back, and you're on the grass partially. Now, you want to be back on the track before the green ends, so you want to be on the curb, otherwise the car bounces and you will lose time. So stay on the curb here, you can see it on the curb, and then now it's a matter of turning to the right hand side. Stay as close to the pit wall as possible. There you go. You should be a little bit more to the inside. There you go. Reduce the steering. And that was a lap of Suzuka. So yeah, I hope this track guide helped you. If not, or you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you in the next one.